We're live.
You're live. Okay, we're at C. We have our tea, and we are ready for our end of contract Q&A.
Let's do it.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. First, I just want to say this is my friend Gabriella, or
Hi everyone.
Gabby, and it's her first contract.
It is my first contract.
So we've got some questions that are focused on that you have written to me via Instagram. Before I really dive into these questions, I guess just tell us about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from England. I'm from Manchester, and this is my first contract, first job, first big job. So I trained in musical theatre and then graduated during the pandemic, and then was lucky to get an audition for this particular job. I'm a singer, but I've grown up doing singing and dancing.
Yeah.
So
well, you're a great dancer too. You're not just a singer.
Girl.
But I'm from Canada, and I'm from Toronto. Similar to her, I went to university for musical theatre, and this was my first job out of school also. But I was lucky I actually got on my first ship right before the pandemic happened. The first question for Miss Gab, we had a lot of questions about what your audition was like, and tips for the auditions, and I thought maybe we could both answer it to give the UK and Canada perspective.
Yeah, because the company actually go around the world. For me, I auditioned back in May of 2022. When did we come on board? Yeah, May of 2022. And I had an agent at the time who submitted me, and then it was a closed private call, and that was just the singers only, and that was in London. So I went to this studio in London, and I had to prepare some material that they give you. So now I think about it, it was some stuff from the shows.
Yeah.
So mine was Heartbreaker by Pat Benatar, which is a rock pop song. And then I think it was Whitney Houston, I Have Nothing, something really hard. And then they also asked me to prepare my rep folder, and so I brought with me material. So I sang my 2 songs with the piano, and on the panel was the casting, and then someone from Creative Studios. And then she said, would you be able to sing something else from my repertoire? So I picked a pop rock song, and then after I'd sang, I was asked, would you be able to come back later in the afternoon and dance for us? So I came back maybe a few hours later, and there was 4 girls recalled and 3 boys, and it was this tiny little studio space, and we just learnt a combo. It was a really easy dance. They just, I think, wanted to see how we moved. And then, at the very end of that process, they sat us all down and they were like, thank you for coming, we'll be in touch. Which you always kind of go, sure.
We'll
okay.
see.
But she was kind of we were on their radar, and they were it might be a day, a week, a month, but we'll get in touch. But I went away from that feeling really positive, and then it was August of 2022 that I got a message to say that they wanted to Zoom call with me. So later that night, weirdly, because of the time difference, it was Florida's morning or something, and I chatted with one of the casting team. They kind of ran me through exactly what the role would be, and then they read me off everywhere that this particular itinerary was going, which was the world cruise. So it's been unbelievable. And then by the end of the conversation, pretty much she'd essentially offered me the contract. But in that, there was also an interview, with it being for a regentship.
Right.
She just wanted to know how in teamwork situations I would handle things, and if a guest had, I don't know, said something to me, how could I make their day better?
Because we have to socialise a lot. So there's a lot of are you a good people person?
And then it was really fast from there. I basically ended the call. She sent through the pre-employment and the contracts and whatnot, and by the end of the day, they were like, right, okay, in 4 weeks' time, you'll be flying to Tampa. I was like, wow, okay.
And then the world.
And then the world. So that was mine.
Crazy.
But what about you?
Well, I auditioned in Toronto, and there was maybe 100 people. I think. I don't have an agent, and I heard that there was open dance call, and then I heard through friends who did have agents that later that day there was a singer call, and I'm a singer dancer, so I thought, okay, I want to sing for them, like I have to do this thing. So I went to the dance call, but right when I signed up in the morning, I said, hey, like at the little desk with the casting people, I was like, I know you have auditions later for singers, and I don't have a spot, but I want to sing for you. You have to hear me sing. And they told me that if I could make it to the end of the dance call, then I could have a spot to sing. So I did that. The dance call was very long and hard, and they cut people like crazy. First time, you did the first combo, and you did it once, and they sent like half the room home. Just like classic auditioning. Then I made it to the end, and then I got to sing for them, which was really awesome. And yeah, I sang songs that they asked for from the thing. I think I sang Cowboy Casanova.
Yeah, that was in one of them for sure.
And then maybe, I think I sang Over the Rainbow. And then I sang maybe one or, I don't remember, this is like 3 years ago now, but maybe one or two of my own songs. I don't know about you, like I auditioned for quite a few other ships around that time period. And this audition for NCL/Regent was the one I felt the most comfortable, and I found the casting people the most friendly and like genuine. For sure. I don't know, a lot of the other auditions I was at, the casting people just seemed really like, I don't know.
And like, it's hard to like gauge whether you're doing a good job or not. And they were really friendly and encouraging for sure.
They were like probably the nicest audition.
But that's a good tip. Like if you want to sing, I think that's like honestly so good, because I think that shows initiative and like confidence.
Yeah.
And how annoyed would you have been if you would have gone home and never sang for them?
And didn't try. Yeah, because then, like Gabby said, a few weeks later I got a call and did the whole interview, and then I got offered the job, which was amazing. Well, tips or advice.
In your repertoire folder, do not put anything in there that you think, if they pulled that out, I wouldn't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, or if it makes you nervous, like, really know your stuff.
And make sure that it's stuff that's going to be suitable for what you're auditioning for.
Yeah, really try to bring your personality into your audition. Because I feel like everyone is super talented. There's like so many people that can sing and dance just like you. But like what really makes you stand out is being you. Okay, Gab, this one's for you. How have you enjoyed your first contract?
I've had a really great time. My experience has been really positive. Good. The rehearsal period was very intense. The actual getting on board, I mean, it was an adjustment at first. I remember the first few days.
Was it rocky? Like,
yeah, it
was
really
kind of bad weather too, wasn't it?
And I remember like the first time I got on board and we were rehearsing, like we were putting our shows, like installing them, and we sailing away, and you could feel obviously you could feel the ship moving.
Yeah.
But at the time, I remember being like,
but it was maybe moving normal. Like it is now.
Yeah,
it isn't that much.
It felt maybe worse than it actually was.
Yeah.
Especially the world cruise, the travel has been amazing. And then obviously getting to perform. It's been different on the world cruise because obviously people have been living on board. So that's a bit different. But it's been nice to get to know so many different people and actually get to know them well. Yeah. So I felt like more at home. Yeah, the guests. Because I've made relationships with guests on board that I feel like are my parents. You know, and they all think that we're their kids.
They feel like family for sure. I mean, we've all been here for 5 months, like the whole ship, all of us. It's kind of crazy. But
yeah, overall it's been super positive. And yeah, I've enjoyed it.
You would do one again. We'll get to like what we're doing after the contract at the end.
But yeah, definitely, because that was something I was not worried about.
It's like a different lifestyle. Like ships are not for everyone, for sure.
100%.
Like I can easily see why someone would do it and be like, absolutely not.
Never again.
But also on the other side, it's also very amazing if you can handle it.
If you can handle, for sure. There's just like there's certain rules and there's certain, like you said, lifestyle choices almost that you have to make because you're on a ship, obviously. Yeah. But, you know, I really do think it's doable, and for people who love to travel and perform, kind of
ticks all the boxes there.
Yeah.
Did anything surprise you on your first contract?
Honestly, when I got on board, I think the actual ship itself was a real shock because I felt like it was massive. I think as well the movement of the ship on the stage.
Yeah. When you're
you
performing.
and you rehearse it There's
I know.
obviously no,
I
motion.
know. That was my least favorite part of my first contract, because in Tampa, I was like, I feel so good. I know all the dance moves. And then as soon as I got on the ship, I was like, I don't even know how to walk in a straight line. Like, how do people do this?
Yeah, I think when people speak about, like, how you get to know people in the cast and how, like, there is relationships that you form with friends that is super personal and you hear that, but actually when you get to, like, this point, you're like, we're leaving in a week, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Because
I know,
we're all not gonna be in the same.
Well, we've been with
you
this
for
hallway for like literally
7
for 7 months. It's crazy.
I think that those relationships are just surprising me how normal this feels.
Yeah.
And how, like
it feels like we've known each other forever.
It's like you can't imagine, like, knowing other people in this industry.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this cast, what do you mean? But yeah, I think that was quite surprising. In a good way.
What's the worst part about working on a cruise ship?
No, I think the hardest part is just that we're living on a ship and there is, like, safety responsibilities, and so some of the rules of course make sense, like you can only drink a certain amount and you have to be back on board at the right time, and it all makes sense as to why you have to do that. But obviously that can be difficult because you are working and we are crew and we're having these wild amazing adventures, but we do have to show up on time and we do have to be aware of what's happening safety-wise for the guests and for ourselves.
Yeah, there's just lots of weird rules and, like, cabin inspection, all these things. Not that this is the worst part.
No, it's just a different way of life.
Yeah, it's just different than if you were at home. You could do whatever you want. Yeah.
The food. At this point now, I'm so grateful that we get to work on board here and we are fed and looked after, and we really are looked after. But you can't cook yourself.
I know.
And if you want something, like, those are just little human things where you can't go to your kitchen just to...
Yeah, and I think this goes with, like, the freedom thing. Obviously, we're super grateful that, like, we get to eat for free, and we're also getting paid. Do you know what I mean?
It's great.
Cover that over everything we're saying, but... Yeah, it's just like when you come to live on a ship, you kind of lose these freedoms of, I can cook when I want, I can eat when I want.
You can't drive your car.
Yeah.
If you drive or ride your bike, you can't do any of that.
Yeah.
So
those are, like, the negative parts of it.
they're just, like, harder things.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're, like, so well looked after, so.
Yeah. Real worst part, like that.
Yeah, I know, like.
I'm like, no.
Oh, what dirt are we dishing here?
No, but I don't know.
I know.
No, but there's nothing that's so bad that I wouldn't come and work on the ship. Do you know what I mean?
For me, I'm like, I've made it this far.
Yeah.
And nothing's really put me off being like, I could not do another one.
Yeah.
Which I think is the main thing.
Yeah.
Because for some people, it's like the lack of freedom and the rules.
Yeah.
Can be hard for 8 months or 7 months on board.
Yeah.
That can be really challenging.
It's more like
long
they're not that bad, but over a long period of time, they feel like so annoying or So it's just kind of getting over that, I guess. But I still want to work here.
Yes. Sometimes what's hard about ship life is maybe the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That can be hard because you don't realise how silly scrolling on social media or which is kind of good because it makes me realise I don't need any of that.
Yeah.
But also it can be like, oh, I just want to go on YouTube and I just want to watch a video.
YouTube for sure.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's really disconnecting too, because obviously everyone loves to post what they're up to and things on Instagram and Facebook, and I feel like I miss so much stuff from home. When friends are, like, getting engaged or they bought their house or they do this, and then I go home and I'm like, hey, like, how have you been the past half a year? Because, like, I don't even know, because it would take so long and so much Wi-Fi if you actually, like, were keeping up with everyone. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So that part I think is really hard with Wi-Fi. What are your #1 must-haves for a contract? One of my must-haves is a diffuser. I have it on right now. It's not, like, that important, but it just makes your room smell so nice, and it's really good for the air, and you're not allowed to have candles. So it's a nice way to make your room smell good, because sometimes, the ship can have some smells.
And that it can.
Yeah, photos and your own blankets and little pillows. Just things that make your cabin feel like home.
Yeah, I feel like the personal touches just make it feel more homey.
Yeah, especially if you're here for 8 months like us. It's crazy.
Yeah. C-bands.
Yes!
C-bands! I didn't know about this, but I bought them on board
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I have some.
Have you got some?
If you want me to show.
Yeah. This is something I wish I would have had or known about. So C-bands are little bands like this. And inside they have almost like this piece of plastic, but you put them on your wrists.
It's almost like a bead or
yeah,
like a ball.
bead. And you're meant to put it on where your pulse is. The thing is, I feel like having them and maybe using them is a little bit of like a placebo effect. But I do think that, especially if you're new and you're not sure how you're going to take the C's, recommend these for sure.
Yeah, I use them a lot. It's supposedly that point of pressure can like help with motion sickness.
We've had some crazy C's.
Yeah.
Especially around like the bottom of South America.
Yeah, that was rough. That was rough.
Crazy.
I feel like another essential is bringing your favorite snacks. Snacks, I think, are very essential.
Yeah.
It's another thing that just, whatever makes you feel more comfortable. Like, your favorite comfy clothes, making your cabin look super cute and comfy and homey, pictures on the wall, like, do you know what I mean? All these, like, they all relate to, like, feeling comfy and homey.
For sure. My other thing would be, actually, that we've used all the time, is a HDMI cable that goes from your TV to whatever device you have. When we get off in port, some of us will have iPads, we'll download stuff on Netflix, but then you can use that.
Yeah, because then you're not just watching on your iPad. You can actually plug it into like your big screen
TV. And you can
TV.
have like movie nights and all that cute stuff.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that is a good one. What is one thing you miss about land life? I feel like these are all so tough. I'm like, I could give you such a big list of things I miss about land life. For me, probably number one is cooking my own food. I'm a vegan, so that's been an interesting journey on ships. And I filmed an entire video explaining how I make this work. If you want to watch that. That's one thing I miss the most about being on land, and that I'm the most excited for when I go home, is to be able to make my own yummy meals.
And pizza.
Stop.
We miss pizza. We've not had pizza in a while.
No, but I really miss being able to like drive in my car.
That's another one for sure.
It really goes to like the freedom thing, just to be able to drive wherever I want, and again, not have a curfew.
Yeah.
You know, do those regular land life things, like go get a coffee with your friend,
go to the movies,
like, go shopping for random stupid things, you know?
Go to the cinema.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I'm ready for
you know, I'm like, these are things I missed. This is a reason why I do really love ship life, is because it's so different from land life that while you're on the ship, you really appreciate those simple things that you had on land, like just driving to get coffee in your car. When you're at home for so long, you're like, you don't think anything of it at all, but once you've been living on a ship for half a year, you go home and you really like appreciate it so much. Like, I remember my first contract, I got in my car and I was like, I forget how to drive. Like, where am I going? Like, I can do whatever I want. Like, it was just
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Just like drive around and go and see people. And hi.
It's so
That's exciting.
I do miss that. Well, obviously I miss my friends and family.
Yeah, of course. Friends and family for sure.
That's a given. This is a fun question. If you could return to any port for one day or night, where would you go? Oh my gosh. I know. I could say a few, but I want it to be one. I feel like I really loved being in French Polynesia. I just think Bora Bora is so beautiful, and there's so much to do. I've been there a few times through ships, and every time I do something different, and every time it's like my favorite day of the contract. So I just think
that's still up there on my like top 3 for sure.
Yeah. I feel like that's like a 2-part question. Like, that would be my day, my port for the day.
Okay, yeah, I like this.
My port for the night.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
I like don't even remember where else we went. We truly went to so many places.
The whole February and March we did Asia.
I know.
And we did so many ports there. It really was such a wild time.
I can't even believe we did all that.
No, I can't believe that. Yeah, I think some of the big cities, Singapore, Dubai, Hong Kong.
Yeah.
They were like, I just needed more time. They were so cool.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, the next question. How do you talk to your family while you're on board?
Through WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Or Facebook Messenger, that works.
Yeah.
So you get crew allowances to use those apps. And you can voice call on them.
Yeah, you can voice call for free.
And you can video call for free.
But
the video is just like, it is so hit and miss. I've maybe
really
had like
rough.
2 or 3 good calls, and that, I don't know, was just look at We've all been using like a eSIM, Airalo. and so we
It's
bought
been
like,
really
a global
good.
package, so we've been able to use our service pretty much most places, because no one's phone provider is going to really do the whole world.
Yeah.
So then you can, I guess, call family if you get Wi-Fi off the ship, or use your service, FaceTime.
But it's
send
really
pictures.
nice that you can text and call for free. That helps a lot.
That does.
Because otherwise, I basically wouldn't talk to
I
anyone.
know, I was like, otherwise it would cost me a fortune.
That too. So, we have a very special question here from someone.
Aww.
Your favorite install stage manager memory?
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
My favourite memory of Ben, our install stage manager, was when he would make those boards for us. So every office room we would do, our board outside would have all of our headshots, and he would cut out extra paper and he would make it colourful. And
He really decorated.
He really did.
He made
did
them
that.
He
Ben,
made them.
you did that.
Yes. They were themed to the show we were performing. It was really cute.
And are you gonna say pizza?
Mine, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is gonna be when we were in install, and it was really late at night, and we couldn't eat dinner in the mess, and there was no food late at night in the mess either. So Ben came through, and he ordered us all room service, and we had a big feast in the theater. Pizza, French fries.
Oh.
He just
so
walked in with
we were
all these piles
we were
of
all
food.
like, what's happening? We were like, oh my god. We all sat in silence as we
It was
ate
awesome.
this food.
It was awesome.
Yeah. We love you, Ben.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ben.
we miss you, Ben. Okay, next question. What will you miss the most about being on the ship?
Oh, probably the cast and just the friends I've made.
Yeah.
Just because, like I say, you've been with each other for such a long time, and that's going to be really
And
weird.
we've been through so much together.
Oh yeah, they're your people to go to about everything.
I think one thing I'm going to miss the most about being on the ship is sunsets at sea.
Yeah,
They are the best. One of my favorite things about being on the cruise ship. It's something that calms me down, it gives me peace. I can sort of meditate and nothing's in your way. All you see is the sun. It's just amazing.
It is really wild.
It's really nice.
I remember seeing that for the first time and being like, I've never seen sunsets like I have done at sea.
Yeah.
I think it's that weird thing of I just will miss having this structure and what I've just been doing. I'm really excited to go home and have some time to just do me. This has been my whole life that nobody at home has been involved about. So I'm I don't know, I think that I'm just gonna miss sort of being in this world.
Yeah.
With this group of people and with the crew that you meet on board. It's just been my normal for the last year basically.
Yeah. What are your top 3 favorite ports of the world cruise?
I think my top 3 is Bora Bora, Singapore, and probably Dubai, just because I had family there. I got to meet my niece. It was just a really nice 24 hours.
Yeah.
It was just nice to see family. Yeah, I think. But then I'm there's also so many long time.
I know. I think my number 1 has to be Bora Bora, French Polynesia. Sorry, I keep saying that, but it really is just my favorite place.
Bali.
I think Bali might be my second top favorite. Because again, it's so beautiful, and there's realistic stuff you can do and good places to eat, and the culture's really interesting. You know what I mean? It's kind of has
Bali
all the
was
things.
great. Enjoyed Hong Kong.
Yeah, I think my third has to be somewhere in Asia, either Hong Kong or Taiwan, because again, it had the beauty and the culture and really great food, and it was just really interesting experience. What were your favorite memories of the contract with travel? Where were your favorite?
I'm literally this is where I have to look at my phone and
Well, one of them that I remember that this was for sure one of my top favorite days is when pretty much the whole cast went to the Blue Hole in Vanuatu, I think. That was the coolest
so
day.
cool.
It was so beautiful.
The water was just unreal.
The water was so deep blue. We were all there together.
Yeah,
it
it
started
was really
to rain, and we were just having fun,
Yeah,
swimming around. And there was an earthquake.
And there was an earthquake.
There was a real earthquake.
That was crazy.
But it was an experience.
It was an experience.
No, that was one of my favorite days for sure.
One experience was probably having Christmas and New Year's Eve on board.
Yeah.
Because we did the Secret Santa.
That was fun.
And it was still super early in the contract. We were in Brazil.
Yeah.
We just done the Christ the Redeemer that week.
Yeah.
And then Kai had his birthday. And then we did a big Christmas party, and there was a New Year's Eve party. So I think that time was super special.
Yeah.
I loved sailing through the Chilean fjords.
Yes, that was gorgeous.
That
was really pretty.
Insane.
Yeah.
Easter Island.
Yes.
Going to Easter Island.
I always forget about Easter Island. People keep bringing that up. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
That was really
Because
impressive.
we just weren't expecting to actually be able to get off there.
No.
Because I've heard so many stories. Because it's literally in the middle of the ocean.
Mm.
It took like 5 sea days to get there, and then another 5 to get to like anywhere
I can't
else
believe
with
we made
land.
it that. I really can't.
You know, being that far out at sea, it's really common that you would get there, and when you tender, which is like our lifeboat that goes beside the ship, in case people don't know what tendering means.
I didn't know what that was before.
Now you're like, tender.
I know. Off the gangway, you know.
Yeah, it's actually funny, all these like...
Good on the I-95, off the gangway, onto the tender.
Yeah, port side, starboard side, like all these
know.
things that you don't have any clue what they mean, and now you're like fluent in ship language. No, but you get on a lifeboat, and it takes you to the island, but there's been so many stories where they had to cancel the port because the waves were so bad that the tender couldn't obviously safely meet up so you could actually get on it, or it's just bad weather. So when we all got off, I think the whole ship was so happy.
Oh my goodness.
The guests, the crew, like everyone was
excited.
just so high on life because they couldn't believe that we actually made it there.
I know. Another one would have to be in Thailand, going to the elephant sanctuary.
Yeah.
Because you guys got to like bathe the elephants.
That was a beautiful experience.
Got to go and feed them.
Yeah, we fed them watermelon.
It was really cool.
And bathed them in mud and then washed them down, and it was just so beautiful. They're so big, like, oh, it was just so cool.
They're beautiful.
They're so beautiful, yeah. That was a really great day. Oh, yes.
Namibia.
Yeah.
We did quad biking through the desert.
That was cool.
So cool.
That might be one of my favorite days.
Me too.
That is up there for sure. That port was really beautiful.
Australia, I got to hold a kangaroo.
Yes.
No, I got to hold a koala bear.
I literally
I
you were like, wow.
I got to hold a kangaroo. In Australia, I got to hold a koala bear. That was really cool. Enjoyed that. And I saw a kangaroo.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Travel has been too good. I can't even.
It really has. There's really too many places. Insane. It blows my mind.
Cape Town.
Yes.
Loved
Cape Town was amazing. We had such a lucky day. Like the weather was
good.
Perfect.
I know, because you went up Table Mountain.
Yeah. Wait, you didn't go?
No. My
Why?
duty day. Yeah.
See, then you have duty days and they ruined
Yeah, I know. Sure.
Oh.
Worst part of the contract.
Yeah.
Duty days.
That's true.
No, to be fair, like.
No, they're not the worst, but it just kind of sucks if you get a shit day.
Yeah.
But
I loved Cape Town.
Well, Cape Town at night was really fun. Maybe that can
that would be
answer our
maybe
question.
my night time.
Yeah, if you go back to
Went
work
to
for
that
the night.
bar.
That
It
was
like
really
everyone
cool.
with the live music.
Yeah, Cape Town.
I went out
was
for some dinner.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna go home and just my mind is gonna continue to be blown of like how many places we've been to.
You're like looking down your pictures there, and I'm like,
What the heck? Easter Island, Bora Bora,
Hong
Bali,
Kong,
Hong Kong, Vietnam.
Abu Dhabi,
What's that?
Mossel Bay.
Like,
I know.
what the heck? We literally went around the world. It was a crazy time. Like I said before, every day is like new place, new place.
I think for this contract especially, like everyone seems to rave about the travel because it was just that good.
Yeah.
And we obviously performed our shows, and that's another thing. I feel like I don't want to like sidetrack away from how great the performing has been.
Yeah.
And like from a learning perspective for me, I've grown a lot. I've learned a lot. And yeah, I think if anybody's looking to make some good money, save money, you know, travel and gain experience for their first job, I think they would be crazy not to consider this.
Oh yeah.
And that's someone who's like, I just never thought I would do ships because I just didn't think I'd have that opportunity, and I didn't really know enough.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm like, just even from the money I've saved and what I can do with that.
Yeah.
Tick.
Yeah.
Yay,
it's definitely like an amazing job.
It's amazing life.
And my last question is, what are we doing next?
Yeah.
What are you doing next, Gabriella?
Well, right now I'm going on another ship.
Yay, that's exciting.
So that starts soon.
What ship? Tell us.
It's the Voyager. Having a little break and then back on a Regent ship. I'm really excited to go and basically do it all again. and this time I'll go into it with a lot more knowledge.
Yeah.
And I'm so ready. But what about you, Miss Page? What are you doing?
Well, I got offered a ship contract with Regent again, but after a lot of contemplating, I turned it down, and I just feel like I need a break from this kind of thing. I really love being on ships, so it's not to say that like I don't want to do ships anymore, but I think for me, ever since I was a child and my training in university is all like musical theater, and the shows on this ship aren't musicals, obviously. They're sort of like little review variety shows that are put together in an amazing way. Like they're super fun and super entertaining, but it's just not really fulfilling me all the way, if you know what I mean. And as a singer-dancer, it's also really tricky on these ships because I really, really love to do both at the same time, and there's not really that many shows that have that with this company. Again, unless I'm in a book show on NCL or even like a different cruise line, like Royal Caribbean has a lot of really great musicals, and I have really big dreams to work on Disney. I just feel like I've checked off the box with Regent. I've had an incredible experience. It like seriously changed my life being here. But it's like I think I'm just ready to try other things. And even just to be home long enough to like audition for anything else, because I just keep coming back here because they're so amazing and they just keep like offering up things, you know? So it's like hard to say no. And it took me a really long time to sort of come to this decision, but it feels like the right thing to do. I have no idea what's gonna happen when I go home. I'm gonna audition.
Gonna be booked and
maybe
busy.
No, I don't know. But like, what if something like I can audition and maybe nothing will happen.
No, and it's like I think like going home and like you've done 3 contracts where it's been very busy, and maybe it's time to just have a little moment to reset. And then it doesn't mean that you.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But I kind of
a big thing, this girl.
But I kind of like love that about life, like that I don't really know exactly what's happening next. I don't know, that kind of stuff excites me because the last thing I want is to have this like boring, predictable life, you know?
Oh yeah.
So this is
far from it.
No, but yeah, it's like it's been stressful to even like come to this decision, and it's scary to look into the future, especially in the performing industry, and not have something or know like what's happening. But I kind of like leaving it up to the universe, and like something will come that's supposed to, you know? So that's kind of how I'm leaving the contract. I'm just gonna see what happens.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have some time at home as well.
Yeah, for sure.
She said, back on land, baby.
Get me on land. Well, thanks for being in my video.
You're welcome.
Isn't it so fun?
I can't believe we leave in a week.
Stop, that's crazy. Well, you leave in a week.
I leave in a week.
And I'm staying for handover.
Yes.
Which is me and my friend Taylor. We are both the captains, and we are staying on the ship for an extra 2 weeks while the new cast comes on board, and they do the install process, and they're going to be really busy with that, so we're going to do all of the other jobs that, like, the games and socializing and all that stuff. So I won't be performing anymore, but I will be moving up to a guest cabin, and the ship will be heading into the Mediterranean as well, so I'm excited to get off there. But yeah, but you leave soon. I'm kind of jealous.
Like 7 days.
Yeah.
Like 6 working days.
That's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
And this is like the second last sea day.
Yeah.
Only one more sea day.
Is that right?
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this Q&A and you learned something new or got some info that you didn't already know about being on a ship. And thanks, Gabby, for being in my bed. I'm gonna miss you.
No. Don't say that! Like, don't say that. You're gonna watch this back, like, when you edit this, and be like, oh my god.
My Gabby.
When was this? This is a PSA for Paige. Public service announcement. When you watch this video back, and it's like...
And I'm editing.
You're editing. Hi. Here you go. What are you doing? Text me. Like, text me right now.
Oh, that's cute.
That's funny. Yay.
Love it. Okay. Bye, guys. See you in our next
video. Why am I like this?
She's saying bye.
I will. Bye, guys.
And cut. I'll just, whatever. Fade it out. Bye.